All right, welcome back. We finally hit 10 episodes. I'm joined by Billy and Maddie, which you saw right on our lovely picture. And if you also saw our picture, you know we're on vacation.
Oh, yeah. Good times, man.
All right, but before we get started, I just want to let you know you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Right on Facebook at Before and After Podcast. On Instagram at Before After Podcast. Apparently, Before and After was taken, but that's all right. And then the last little bit of things we can talk about is you can basically listen wherever you want. So let's get right down to it. We're on vacation in South Carolina, Garden City. What are you guys thinking?
Place is amazing.
It's amazing.
2-minute walk from the beach is where we are, right? I mean, you can't beat that.
It's not bad at all.
I mean, when we were planning this, we had looked into, the pictures around the area and that sort of stuff. You drop that like Google pin to see, on Google Maps, you try to see around the area, and it just exceeded expectations, I feel like, because it just, what I was expecting is not what we're seeing here. And it's amazing here.
I just like that the area is not very touristy. Like, we're 30 minutes from Myrtle Beach?
Exactly.
A little further south, yeah.
Yeah. And that place is just like shops everywhere with tourists and
I'm not a fan of the tourist spots.
yeah, no,
I don't know.
You feel like you belong there.
It feels like a cliche sort of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It takes away from the real experience.
See, I feel like since we're in a beach place, something like that, it doesn't need to be touristy like if you're going to the Grand Canyon or something. Like that's a tourist spot.
Yeah.
But this doesn't lend itself to, and we don't need those people
No.
around when we're trying to relax.
Well, and when you have a spectacular Atlantic Ocean, 2 blocks away, it doesn't need to be that sort of thing either. It's just its natural beauty in itself.
All right, so I wanted to talk about what we did and what we liked. So it's Friday now. We've been here about a week since the past Saturday. We all drove up. It was about 15 hours from Illinois.
Boy, that was fun.
Well, you guys did it in one sitting.
Yeah, and I also had to listen to Devin's 21 Savage the whole way there.
So-
losing my mind.
When he listened to 21 Savage, he talks like 21 Savage. How'd that go?
Oh my god, I just slept like half the way there.
You just tune it out at that point.
Yeah, for real. But we left at 10 at night, so we arrived at 4 or 5 o'clock, something like that.
That was pretty rough because it was just you and 2 other people. And
Yeah.
one of them was Mitchell, who's like 7 feet tall.
So I had no room
In a small
driving
car,
there and
yeah.
back.
He sat in the passenger the whole way, right?
Yeah, and then
you were
I'm
in the
right
back.
behind him.
So I'm sure he had that passenger seat cranked all the way back.
Yeah.
And I heard there's like no storage in Devin's car. So
It wasn't that bad. No, we managed to fit everything. I mean, I couldn't bring stuff that we should have brought, like lawn chairs and...
His little Ford Focus.
Yeah.
all right, well, that's going to go into our next topic, what we're going to do better. But I still want to talk about what we did. We're kind of wrapping up the week. We're going to be leaving tomorrow, and some people are leaving tonight just to beat the tide and all the flooding that's been happening. That's been a whole thing in itself. But what we've done so far, I think we can all agree the favorite was ziplining.
Go
The
Ape,
grape,
baby.
yeah. For
Right
sure.
at Go Ape in Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach. Fantastic. Now, I don't do that sort of thing out of my comfort zone.
You didn't
was-
You
look
guys
like
can tell.
it.
I feel like we need to tell him what the whole Go Ape experience is about, though.
All right, so what is it?
Well, so Go Ape is this basically outdoor adventure company, and they've got a couple locations around the United States, and we're from the Chicago area, so we found out after we got to the one in North Myrtle Beach that there's one in the Chicago area. So that's always good because then we can always go back and find a different location. But the Go Ape sort of experiences, it's like you said, it's zip lining, but it's also much more than that. It's there's like this in the trees experience where you're up and you're hooked onto these cables and you're like balancing on cables and you're rope climbing and you're doing a Tarzan rope to the other tree and
Screw Tarzan
Yeah,
yeah,
ropes.
that was the
best.
most terrifying thing. But it's this complete up in the trees obstacle course, and it was not what I was anticipating it to be. It was a lot higher. It was a lot more
You're up
intense.
there, and one thing I think we all noticed was that the trees are swaying while you're up there.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that the platforms are literally just wood built
Yeah.
around
Well,
the
it's a
tree.
wood platform, and they only go out like 2 feet as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I understand when they told us, they're like, yeah, only 3 people can be on a platform at a time. Like, that's it. And I was like, well, I don't know. It's okay. That's weird. And then you get up there, you're like, yeah, we can't fit anymore.
All right, so ziplining wise, I haven't done any of that. Billy?
Oh, I love ziplining. I've been ziplining in Mexico.
You went in Mexico?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That was cool.
Is that where the waterfall was that you went through?
It was like a whole cave system that I
cave?
was in.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like just a big adventure park built around a cave system. And then above that is like a rainforest type of thing. And you're ziplining through that. It was the coolest thing.
Did they have obstacles?
They did not. No, you just go
Didn't
from
need
one
it.
platform to the next, and then you just keep going.
All right, so you had some experience, Maddie. How about you?
I had one ziplining experience. I had none of the obstacles, like Billy had said. I had it. I actually did mine in Tennessee. It was in the Smoky Mountains, Great Smoky Mountains, over by Gatlinburg, just outside of there. And I think I was like late middle school, like probably like 7th or 8th grade. So that was the first time I did that. And I mean, it was the same thing, going platform to platform, and that was it. I mean, I thought that was fun, but doing the whole Go Ape experience was a whole nother thing. But I'm so glad we did it.
So I'm glad we all got to experience obstacles together. I think that was much needed in the ziplining adventure. I
Yes.
feel like you want a little healthy break. So at Go Ape, there's a $30 one, I believe. So it's about an hour. You get 20 obstacles or something, and a couple zip lines.
Yeah.
Then there's the $60 one, which is the highest, I believe. So it's a kind of a different track. There was 5 stations, 5 or 6.
And then they all end with the zip line.
Yeah.
A very long zip line too at times. So
Don't get stuck.
no, we'll talk about that. And 'cause I think we all got there. So the $60 one, it lasted about 3 hours, and it was 3 solid hours, and you definitely get your money's worth.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I was exhausted after.
And I mean, I remember when we were looking into this a couple nights before, actually it was the night before, and we had tried to figure out, well, do we want to do the $30 or $60? And I was thinking about it like, well, I mean, I'm sure the $60 would be cool, but you know, I was thinking like, oh, that's a long time, like 3 hours to do this. And it went by so fast. I didn't even
it
realize.
did.
I mean, it was a lot of work, don't get me wrong, but it was crazy. It was definitely worth the money.
All right, so when you get there, they have an instructor come out, and you got to get all your harnesses on. They come around, and you go, since they're using different like cables or smart cables and stuff like that, so they have to show you how they always clip on, they stay attached. So right then, you go to, with your group, and you go to Station 1, and Station 1's just a little basic 10 feet
I would
off
say it's
the
like,
ground.
8-10 feet.
Exactly, and you just go around, and with a short little zip line, that's it, and then they send you on your way to Part 2. Billy, describe Part 2 to me.
Well, you got to climb up the big ladder first.
So
And
much higher
It's
up.
basically just a rope ladder, and if you're leaning the wrong way, you're going to flip around onto the other side.
I think you did that once or twice,
I
right?
saw a few people do that, yeah. So you get up there, and then you start off going over like a tightrope or something, and then a lot of the obstacles involve walking over wooden planks or, you know, just trying not to fall. But you wouldn't, since you have the smart cables, so that's nice.
But even if
it's,
you do, it still feels like you could.
yeah,
it's so
freaky
weird.
because I remember on one of the platforms I was hooked on, and you can just like lean over and look over the edge, but that's still freaky. Even though you're not gonna fall, it's just crazy.
Now, are you guys afraid of heights?
I can't say I'm afraid of heights.
Or
Like,
it's just
you know,
a
if
natural-
it's more of the heights without any like barring, or I don't
there's
know how
no
to explain
railing
it.
or-
There's no
yeah.
railing, exactly. There's nothing that's keeping you there. So I mean, like, I can go up into the Willis Tower and go look at 100 and some odd stories up in the air. You know, that doesn't bother me because there's a window. You know, it's cool. But as soon as you have that free, it's like no wall. There's no bar, like you said, or railing. That freaks me out. I don't like that at all.
It's very different, but it's cool that you get to go face your fears, even if you're fully into it, like Billy was, who was literally jumping everywhere. You're
Yeah.
doing something different and not something you do every single day. So, do you have a favorite moment or a favorite obstacle that you went on during that?
Oh, the Tarzan swing.
Which one? Because I
The,
think there was
the
2.
second one at the end, the big one. So you have to actually climb up a little ladder. It's a platform above the main platform, so you get up higher, and then you basically just jump, and it's so crazy at first because you're free falling, and
You look
then
like-
the rope catches you, and then you swing into the net.
Yeah, hearing the oh shit out in the background
Yes.
of Max jumping down.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I'm taking the alternate route.
Yeah, that one they gave you an alternate route, and you know, by that point I was feeling exhausted, so I just decided to take the alternate route because
I did it twice.
yeah, good for you because wow,
I would love to go back to that. All right, Maddie, favorite moment, favorite obstacle.
everybody got scared at the end, that last huge zip line when we were at the top of the tree.
This is going to lead into the getting stuck in the water, but
Yes,
go ahead.
this zip line, you know, you saw it as we're going through all the other stations, you know, and this was at the final station because every station ends with a zip line. And, you know, you see this thing and you're like, well, that will be so much fun. Like, that's crazy. That's so cool. But then you get up there. I mean, because it was similar to what Billy just described with the other Tarzan rope, where you have your platform and then there was another ladder to lead up to another 12-foot high platform. So you're going even higher up in the air. And I swear we were at like the top 30 feet of that tree too, because I mean you felt that sway. I mean you were right next to me, and our friend Phil was with us, the last 3 that were in that group, and that was like my favorite. When you have to, I was so nervous, and I know you were too there, Vince, but it was really cool. It's just like that step off, once you step off, you're just gliding, and I just thought that was the coolest thing.
Yeah, it's the final thing, and way out there you see the wood chip run ramp that you gotta
Stop yourself
on. It's way across that lake, and you said it was about 45 seconds you're sliding.
I
Would you
swear
guys
it was
agree?
like 45 seconds to
Yeah,
get all the way
I
to
don't
the other
even
end.
know. I was just kind of enjoying the ride.
Yeah,
exactly.
because you're going all the way across the lake too, so you feel like a bird. It's weird.
And once you jump, I feel like you're fine.
Yes, it's that moment, getting yourself to do it.
So, did you go first, or where were you? in that
I
group?
went like right before the last 3 guys. So you, Maddie, and
Oh,
Phil.
okay.
I was right before that.
So we all got to witness Max and Jose
Get stuck.
in the water. Was it
Yeah.
up to their waist?
It was like, okay, so like the zip line, when you get towards the end, it obviously like slopes further down because it's
dips
starting
a
to,
lot.
it dips, exactly. And a couple of them were safe, a couple of them only got like their feet wet, but our poor friend Jose, we saw, we're way far back, 45 seconds behind on the platform, and we're like, oh my gosh, it was in his waist. I mean, granted, he did have his legs up trying to not touch
He's
the
a tall
water,
guy.
but he's a tall guy, but like his full butt was like submerged in the water. I felt so bad. I was like, oh man, Jose. I just didn't want that to happen to me either. So.
Oh my God, seeing Vince try his hardest to not get wet.
And it was only, we checked afterwards, it was only the flap of the pocket of your shorts that got wet.
It's
So I
bad,
don't know
too.
how.
And it's bad because they have a person stationed there, and it's their job to take a rope and lead it out to you to clip onto your harness and drag you in. So by
So
the
if you get
time
stuck,
you get
yeah.
stuck to the time they're able to help you, it's a good 30 seconds,
Yeah, I
I
would
feel
say,
like.
yeah.
So, and it's a lot of core strength if you're trying to keep your knees up or anything. So
Try not to get your shoes wet.
yeah, my nice shoes. And Max, of course, he bought new shoes that like the day before, so they
Yeah.
were brand new.
Oh, yeah.
Soaked in that little lake right there. So.
Poor Max.
All right, so Go Ape was good.
10 out of 10.
I would say the same.
Would do again.
Would do again.
Would definitely do that again. I'm
That-
so glad that we brought that up, and because I
Honestly.
feel like it was out of a lot of our comfort zones. We're a pretty laid back group, and we just for most of this vacation we've been just hanging out, and for us to just go out and do that, I thought that was really cool for all of us to do.
And that Go Ape is in North Myrtle Beach. So the next place I want to talk about was in Garden City, where we were staying. It was the Old Fashioned Ice Cream Parlor.
Oh, man.
See, you're pointing at me, but I really feel like you need to take
Yeah.
this one because let me tell you, Vince, he was eating this thing, and there was like audible like like when he was eating it, and I was like, and he got a certain flavor, and I just didn't even what was it?
Blueberry cheesecake?
Yeah,
Is that-
I
you
think
got
that's what it
something
was.
similar, Bill.
Because-
Strawberry cheesecake shake.
So
yeah,
he had the
got
shake version.
and I just got like my typical mint chocolate chip because that's my favorite flavor. I just got that in a shake, and I remember I sat down next to you and you were eating it. You're like, you gotta try this. So I did try a bite, and then I like didn't even ask for a second bite. I just like took it because that was fantastic. That was so good.
And I don't know what they're doing differently, but I love ice cream places that are very generous with what they scoop onto your thing.
Yeah.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
But I don't know what they did. But they were just so much better than what I've had before.
Yeah, and the place when you're walking in, it's not like
old-fashioned.
super fancy or anything, but it has it's in the name. It says it's the Old Fashioned Ice Cream Parlor, so it has like that, red and white stripes
Yeah.
in their kind of theme sort of thing. But like I said, it wasn't anything. Didn't look like anything fancy, but it was worth it. That was so good.
And we only got to go once. I was a little sad about that, but we got to go again. Hopefully one day.
Yeah.
So that's Old Fashioned Ice Cream Parlor. Then what did you get, Maddie? You got mint chocolate chip.
I got my mint chocolate chip. I got it actually in a shake, which is typically like not an option that they give, but that was really good too.
Billy, your rating on the place? You gave Go Ape 10 out of 10.
Dude, I don't know. I'll go again. I just love ice cream.
That's true. It's hard to say no to ice cream.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 more places we wanted to give a shout out to. So the next one, Maddie, is...
Sarah J's Seafood Restaurant.
All right, so why was Sarah J so very helpful and kind to us?
Well, so we had kind of mentioned it in the beginning, right at the beginning of the show, and there was a little bit of, we said flooding, and I think that's just...
A little bit.
I think the
Just a
flooding
little?
is an understatement. Exactly. I think flooding is an understatement to what it really is. So, you're by the ocean, and, 2 blocks east of us is the ocean. You got the Atlantic Ocean, but right in our backyard is this marsh
Marshy
kind of
area.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this is where the tide rises. You can physically see after a couple hours the tide rises and falls, and low tide and high tide. Well, when we got there, the host, our gracious host, she had said, the tide's going to come in later in your stay. It's going to be a high tide, so
Yeah,
you
we're
can
at the
go.
Airbnb.
Yeah, we're at this Airbnb that we've been staying at, and she said, the high tide will come in towards the later during your trip. So like, when it gets to be that time, you'll want to park your car somewhere else, because we'd just been parking them in the street or the driveway. Well, what day was it? Tuesday, I think.
Monday. It was the first
Was
one.
it Monday?
Just
Okay.
a regular high tide.
Yeah, the regular high tide. We'll get to what's next after that. And I mean, we're like, okay, whatever. We didn't really think much of it. It was like, we'll be fine. Well, I was in the house and everybody else was outside, and you told me to come outside just to see what was going on, and the water had to have been at least a foot risen already. Like, and that was just the beginning
It's
of
super
it.
quick. So that was regular high tide, and what was next after high tide?
King tide,
King
baby.
tide.
That was crazy. That poor Honda that was parked out by our house.
There was a Honda just sitting outside our Airbnb, because it's just public parking, and that Honda was sitting there for like 3 days.
Yeah, and then the guys came like yesterday or something, and they had to tow it because it wouldn't turn on.
Yeah.
It wouldn't start.
Well, because the water got
yeah,
at least to the bottom.
it
of
was above the muffler. I mean, that's how high the tide got. Like, just sitting like basically on the road.
Well, and we've got trapped in physically, like not our cars, but we've gotten trapped walking back because we would return our cars a
Yeah.
little late. So we had to walk through that ourselves.
You gotta take your shoes off and hope you don't step on rocks.
Yeah.
So many rocks, and it's all throughout the little town because it's in Murrells Inlet. So there's like a little cute little street. I forgot the name of the street.
I think it's
Was it
Atlantic Avenue, I think is what it was.
Well, right there is all the shops and stores, and you see all the golf carts there because it's that type of community. They're all elevated
Yes.
stuff. So I was
Yeah.
like, that should have threw me off first of all.
Yeah, right?
So other than that, our cars were very safe. So after King Tide was what? Daddy Tide.
King Daddy Pete
I was
Tide.
like, what are you leading me into? I was like, King Tide's the biggest tide, but
No,
we
we're reading the
nicknamed
chart,
it.
and on the chart it tells you when there's a high tide. So it has an empty little crown on there for King Tide, and then the next one's a black crown, and that was high anticipated. What was it?
It was the peak of the season, King Tide.
Okay. And that was very nice and very big. We just stayed on the deck and watched that as everyone
Yes.
struggled.
Yeah, it was funny watching people.
And-
Some of them would like power through it. Others would be like, "Yeah, I ain't driving through that."
Well, and part of me, I'm sitting here looking around, and I don't know, maybe these are a lot of vacation rentals and stuff, but I feel like people live here year-round, so I don't know. It just didn't seem like a lot of people were well prepared or timed things out, because you even watch traffic and it backs up, and it's like, you knew this was coming. I mean, like, at least for us, like, we're these stupid Midwesterners who
Yeah.
like underestimated this whole thing, and then we see it, and we took it seriously after that first day. But yeah, I just see all these people struggling through. I'm like, do you just not care anymore, or like, did you not plan? I don't know.
Now, Murrells Inlet, it's beachfront property, a little bit of a wealthier community. If you do stay there, it gets closer to $800,000 places. So people have nicer cars, and some nice cars, are flat, much lower to the ground.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you, Billy, if you were on the deck when you saw a low car going through that King Tide.
Oh, it's
Basically
literally
underwater.
like if you're watching boats on a lake, you just see the wake go out, and
Well,
it
was the wake, and then you could see the headlights under the water.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's enough of them.
Yeah.
But one more thing with Sarah J, we did have dinner there one night.
We did, yeah.
Thoughts?
We all wanted seafood, so
Yeah,
that
it was-
was the one of the recommended spots.
It was pretty good. I got the mahi.
Yeah.
Now, I've never had mahi. I didn't know what that was.
See, I'm not even a seafood person, but like that's one of the only fish I'll eat.
And that did it for you?
It was
It's
pretty
not
good,
as
yeah.
fishy of a taste, so I
Yeah,
know a lot of
yeah.
people like that and tilapia and that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
And Maddie, we both got a pasta dish.
we
with
got like a
shrimp.
pasta dish with shrimp in it. Yeah, it was
Pasta.
basically
Pasta.
it was basically shrimp Alfredo, but it was good. I mean, I thought it was. I wanted the pasta. I wanted something filling like that, and it was busy in there too. I remember.
Yeah, it was. We had a like 20-minute wait.
But for filling 9 people, I think, at the
That's
time.
true. We did have
without
9 people.
reservations, I'll take it.
Yeah.
It was at 6:30, so prime dinner time. So can't be mad about that.
Exactly. The last place I want to talk about, the three of us went to, right on Murrells Inlet, the beach. There's a pier very high up, and right at the end of it, bar at the end of the pier. That's the name, and that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
That place was so cool. We got there. There was a live band playing, and the dude was shredding on the guitar. Oh my god!
It was funny watching because we all grabbed a drink up there and everything, and even though it was a very expensive drink, I paid $8.50 for my blended drink.
Frozen drinks, but they were
Frozen It was an adult alcoholic beverage, but it was very good. I was glad, you got to do it. You're on vacation. But I mean, we were all sitting there just enjoying the music, and I was looking over at Billy, and you were just like in a
Jamming
trance
out,
and
yeah.
jamming about, like, and you could tell that you were watching the guitar.
Well,
'Cause
they were playing like good stuff. Some Merle Haggard, Pride and Joy, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Like, it's all some good jams.
yeah.
And then right when they took a break, they turned on the radio to Cupid Shuffle or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was then the cha-cha slide. I was like,
Okay.
all right.
I thought it was cool seeing everyone stand up and like dance, just all ages.
Yeah, there was a big dance floor right
That's
in front of the
true.
stage.
Well, you could tell you're in the South, because there was this dance area that was there, and I mean there was even signs like no drinks or smoking in the dance floor or whatever. But like you said, of all ages, there was 8-year-olds and there was 80-year-olds that were actually like square dancing over there, which I
Yeah.
thought was super cool.
Yeah.
And even if some of the music didn't quite fit it, I thought it was so cute that everybody just got up and danced, because I feel like that just doesn't happen up here in the Midwest.
It really doesn't. I liked the vibe, especially with people on the outside. They were fishing right off the pier.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could fish anywhere on the pier. It was so cool.
Just no shark fishing.
Well,
Yeah, that was weird
I
to
don't mess
see.
with sharks. So.
There was a sign, you're walking on the pier and you're walking to this bar, but there's signs all along the pier saying no shark fishing. I'm like that's the only thing that's not allowed.
Yeah.
And you're like 30 feet up. Like, how are I can't even
How do you
imagine
know what
trying
you
to do
caught
that.
then?
Right? Literally it. And I'm looking at all these people's poles. I'm like, I don't think you're catching a shark with that thing, but
Did you guys see the sign though when you went up to the bar that said no cleaning or cutting your fish on the bar top?
yeah, it was like right where you ordered
Yeah, first of all,
What?
who would think to do
It was
that?
right where you ordered the drinks too. Like it was
Yeah.
literally the bar, and it was like, please do not clean your fish on the bar top.
Slap
I was
with
like,
Thanks for the common sense.
Well,
I guess.
okay, but they put that sign there because
'Cause someone's
somebody's
done
done
it.
it before.
God.
So I can only imagine that happening. Somebody just slaps a fish on the bar.
Oh my god. Let's fry her
Like,
up.
yeah, clean them up.
Jeez. All right. So we just want to give a shout out to those 4 places. We didn't go to them or didn't get to go to them a lot, but they kind of changed our vacation in the 1 week we were here.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend them. And things like Go Ape, you can find it basically anywhere else.
They
I don't know
had
if it was a
like
little bit more
20 different
selective.
locations or something like that. I mean, they seem to be more on the east side of the country, and then there's like a couple in Texas and stuff. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, not bad. So just in general, so we've been here a little while now.
Mm-hmm.
Things you liked. Billy, start it off.
Just chilling, hanging out with my buds.
These buds. All right.
I'm always a fan of the same thing, like just hanging
Yeah.
out. I did like that, whenever we wanted to, we all just would say, all right, we're going to the beach. And then you just walk a block and then you're right there. I just thought that
Seriously.
was so cool. And Vince and I took advantage of that with our friend Phil on the first morning, and we went to go see the sunrise and everything, which was absolutely stunning. It really was.
6:24 a.m.
Yeah, we got up for it, but it was worth it. Honestly, it's not even that early, but I would honestly have to say just my favorite thing about it was just experiencing a different state. I've never been to South Carolina, and just being able to just walk around and having that like neighborhood feel in that small community and right by the beach. You can't beat that.
And we were in a 4-bedroom house, right?
4-bedroom, but
Four-bedroom?
there are a couple bedrooms obviously that had multiple beds, and
Yeah.
it fit everybody perfectly in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Except Devin sleeping on the couch.
Devin
Well,
slept on the
He
couch.
just decided there was room for him. Don't get me wrong. There was room for him in the other room, but he decided that he was going to make his room the living room.
There is
so
a pull-out couch too, but he didn't use it.
I
Did you
wouldn't
see
have-
that pull-out
Did
couch,
you see
though?
it?
No, I didn't.
Not
No,
not
you
good.
don't go on that one.
You don't want to do that. That
Okay.
looks like that pull-out couch has been used way too many times. So.
Alrighty.
All right, so we had 11 people in there. This was my first time with Airbnb. I think Maddie as well. Billy?
I don't remember. I think I've done one before. Yeah, I remember for Frank's birthday. It was like 2 years ago or
You did
something. We
Airbnb?
one. Yeah, it was just
Sweet.
a couple days, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, this one, I'm assuming it was the biggest group, 11 people.
Oh yeah, I definitely have not been on a vacation with that many people before, actually.
And we're going to get into the do's and don'ts and the
True.
stereotypes of that in just a little bit. But real quick, 11 people, one house, spaced out very nicely. Better than a hotel.
Very nice, because you get privacy.
You get privacy, and I felt like, a hotel, you can only go into your room without
Yeah.
being with, you can go to a
Yeah.
common area in a hotel, but that has like other
Then
people.
the
and you
guy
don't want
next,
that.
he was gonna hear you screaming at
Exactly.
midnight
Like
when
at
you're-
the house, you had a back porch, a front porch, you had the full house in itself. Like, so everybody could space out, even though
Yeah.
we were all together for a long time, we can all space out here. And actually, we can just kind of do smaller groups, and it
Yeah.
just manages better that
And
way.
with noise-wise, playing Boom Cup at 3 a.m.
Oh my god.
when we're all cheering on the person
Yeah.
who lost.
Screaming.
Yeah.
I didn't worry about our neighbors too much.
I didn't really either, because it was like the first or second night Devin was playing his typical music, and it was pretty
hold
loud.
on. What do you guys think of Devin's music for a week long?
Well, it was fine for the first couple days, but
I mean,
'Cause he had a sound
as soon as
bar
I
hooked up.
want to play my music, no.
well, Devin,
nobody
you need
likes
to
that.
update your playlist, man. If you're gonna play it for a whole week,
So
you gotta
PSA
update
for you,
it.
Devin.
He played it so long each day that we heard it loop again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
Well-
heard seriously. Well, because I had to deal with it in the car too.
Yes, that's
so I've
true.
heard all of those songs that we heard like
yeah, you had an extra
10
30
times.
hours.
I swear. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, but you were saying something. Sorry. Go ahead.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say anymore.
We'll leave it then.
Okay, it's
All right.
probably better off.
Have you been to a lot of beaches before? What did you think about
Oh,
this
that's
beach?
a good question.
Because I'm a big beach goer.
I've only been to one other beach before, like true tropical
here
kind
it
of beach,
comes.
and excuse
World traveler
you.
first.
All right,
Let's
no,
hear
no, no,
it.
no, no. I've only been to 2 other countries, so you can't even say that right now. It's not
All right,
okay.
where'd you go?
But it was last summer when I went to Costa Rica for a study abroad trip. I got to be on the Pacific side of the world,
Ooh.
and that beach was gorgeous. I mean, it was near a resort, so it was pretty nice. I gotta say, I would say for the sake of things living in the water.
Yeah.
The Pacific side was better because I swear I didn't feel anything, and I was in that ocean for like 2 hours. Okay, not
No
obviously at one
jellyfish
time.
or-
Yeah,
I
we saw
didn't.
through
I didn't
those.
feel anything. It was just smooth sand the whole way, and I mean, maybe it was just the area that I was in, or maybe it was just like a little more secluded. I don't know, but where we were, I swear I would be in there for 10 minutes and something would touch me, or there was one time that I swear to this day, you guys probably think I'm crazy, but something like nipped my toe, and I was like, I'm out, I'm done.
I
Too
watched a
much.
fish go after my pinky when it was in the water.
There
Like,
was
I
a
saw it.
It was
touch
weird
me.
seeing a couple fish even just like swim in front of me. I was like, oh yeah, I guess there are people. I guess there are things living in here. I don't know. You just kind of don't think about it.
It's
And you
even
can't
though
see
they're
it.
just
The
little
water
fish,
wasn't
but
that clear. That was disappointing
No.
to me.
Well, it was a yeah.
where you've been,
I've been all over the Caribbean,
and it's clear.
and you could see like 10 feet down
Those
to
are
the
when
bottom.
you get those like pristine, crystal clear
yeah,
waters.
seriously, that's what it is, and
Well, you get what you pay for down there too. So.
pretty much. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was weird too because before we went on vacation, there was obviously the case of the girl getting bitten by a shark and stuff, right in South Carolina.
Yeah, it was.
Right?
It was near Myrtle
was
Beach,
it?
I think,
It
too.
was?
So
Oh, man.
I was weirded. Sharks. They say you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning than you are getting
We
bitten
weren't
by
far
a
out
shark.
either.
No, we weren't. But it doesn't. You can only be waist high, and they can still come
There were
up.
big
I don't know.
waves.
It was so weird because, of course, you heard about it, and they've been apparently more active this year. So every time I went into the ocean, that was sitting in the back of my mind for some dumb reason. You know, we were fine. I know we were fine, but it's just that weird, like, well, I guess it could happen to me. You never know, but.
I'll punch a shark.
Yeah. Oh, Billy's not gonna mess around.
You got punched in the nose, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's a myth or not.
I
but
feel like that's true.
if you,
gotta
get
punch
bit,
it in
you're
the nose.
gonna punch it, right?
You gotta have some reaction.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know if my first reaction when I get bit would be
Just
to
to punch.
punch it. I would scream,
away.
maybe try to run away. Yeah, I don't know. Anger's not my first.
You gotta have self-defense.
I mean, fair. I don't know. Maybe.
Although if
about
it was
that.
a jellyfish, there was nothing you could do about that.
Jellyfish,
Were you
you
in there
just
with
take
couple
the
of
L.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just take the L on that one.
Yeah.
Except I feel like he was a little far gone. You know what I mean? Because we went back and the water had receded a bit, and he was just laying on the sand.
Yeah. At least they weren't the really long tentacle ones.
Yeah, they were short
guys.
tentacles, so the chances of getting stung by them are a lot smaller
Yeah.
because obviously you don't get stung on the top of them. You just get stung with the tentacles.
Somebody brought it up earlier this week that they were wondering if you grabbed, the jellyfish part,
Oh,
if they
no,
would
I don't
take
like
the
thinking
tentacle
about
up and at you. I don't know.
I really don't like thinking about that.
Just
I
push you up.
I gotta say, I don't think I would test it. I wouldn't be the one to try that personally, but I mean, if you were to touch one in real life, or that's a dumb sentence, but like if you were to touch one, especially they show you at like zoos and all those like sort of like SeaWorld, those kind of aquariums that like if you touch them on the top, people can grab them that way. But again, I don't know if I'd be just trying that out
I'll pass.
anywhere, especially if there's just one lane on the ocean or on the beach.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't know what's wrong with it.
No, and especially with the waves coming up, it kept pushing it towards you, even if you're trying to
Yeah.
get out. But it sounds like both of you had experience with saltwater.
Oh yeah, tons of
Mm-hmm.
it.
This is my first time, so
Oh really?
it burns. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Because it gets in your face no matter what.
Well, it does get in your face. And I mean, getting in your face isn't even the hard part. It's like when
Swallow
a
it.
wave comes at you
Or
and
that
you're not
too, yeah.
expecting it. And I swear, even if I try to blow out of my nose, I swear water still gets up my nose all
Clears
the
out
time.
your sinuses.
And it does though. The first time it happened, I had kind of had to exit and sit down for a little bit because it burned so bad, and I took in a lot of water. But yeah, it does wake you up a little bit.
Are you two, or both of you guys, the people that can lay out on the beach every single day, or you need a break?
Well, if I do lay out on the beach, I'm getting burned,
Or
so
just
I
go,
don't do
yeah.
that. Yeah, but no, I've gone to the beach like 4 days in a row before, and that's too much.
Too
Like,
much?
I need
How
a break.
come?
I can't. You're going to a beach and there's water. What's new? I mean, it's nice. It's a really hot day. You go cool off, but then what?
It's a good point.
It's like the small intervals for me. I mean,
like
we
that,
didn't
yeah.
go for super long on the days
Yeah.
we have gone here. But I'm definitely the person who like is in the ocean for like 15 minutes and then I get out for a half hour and then I go back in. You know, just kind of the swapping because that's what you do. You know, you cool off like you said,
Yeah.
and it's hot and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I can't do a super long time. I think we have this idea that all day beach bum, that sort of thing. I don't know.
It doesn't have the appeal.
It's hard on your body too. You get dehydrated and it's
I don't
hard.
like sand.
Well, you went to
sand
the
is-
wrong place, man.
Yeah, I
So-
was like,
No,
I swear
when
after
you're
this,
finding sand, like I've got sand all in my suitcase now.
yeah, I swear, like when we get, I'm gonna be finding sand for the next couple weeks everywhere.
Well,
just like
Yeah.
little things here
the
and there.
freaking house alone, if you went barefoot,
Yeah, you had to basically wear socks if you did not want to touch, if you didn't want to feel like you're walking on the beach again, because you can try your best to get the sand out of there, but it's so fine. That sand is so fine that like it tracks itself away. Yeah, it was bad.
all right. So after that, let's go into the next thing. So what would you have said could have been better, and what would you for next time? Because we're already planning, which we'll get to, but we're going on vacation again. Eventually. What would you plan better? What would you want to do? What could have been much better?
I don't think we ever made lunch.
Okay, so let's
Okay,
get
well
into that here.
that's another problem in itself. Okay, maybe not a problem. That's
Definitely
another
not a problem.
situation. Yes.
We're all on vacation. Obviously, just a bunch of us like to stay up because staying up with a group of people is much
Yeah.
nicer.
Friends, obviously,
Yeah.
you're hanging out, you're playing games. You're
Exactly. So you're going to sleep in late, and a couple of us, I'm the biggest one. I get up early no matter what.
Yeah,
So
you do.
I was up at 7 or 8. Everybody else slept till about noon, 1 o'clock. So that was your breakfast, right?
See, I think I just had like crackers until dinner time.
And that was, I think, part of the issue too, because I mean, like, yeah, you were always the first one up. Second up was either me or Phil for the most part, and I mean, it took a while for the next person to get up because I sleep in a little bit more than you do. But so we would, even if we were up by 9:30, we eat breakfast or just something, even if it's just like a piece of toast, yogurt, that sort of stuff. So at least we had something in our systems. But yeah, when everybody else is waking up at 12:31 and they're like, all right, breakfast.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you
Bread's
can't.
gone.
Yeah.
Like for Billy.
Yeah, right.
It's like,
yeah.
I gotta go to the store. We
Poor
need bread.
Billy. Poor Billy didn't get his toast. But you can't I don't know. It's hard because by the time people want lunch, which would be like 3 hours after, that's like 4 or 5 o'clock, which is typically kind of starting
Yeah.
around dinner. So it was just I feel like that was hard. We were just on all different schedules in that way.
And we were the big group. It's fine. I liked what Alexis kept saying. It doesn't matter because we're on vacation, which
True.
I totally agree. Do what you want. There's a big enough group here that we can go do our own thing.
Yeah.
True. I felt like we did stick as a group. Basically, I feel like this whole trip, So I feel like if we could have kind of taken those words a little bit more seriously or like taken them to heart saying like we can do what we want. I mean, I'm just saying like especially like you and I in that way of we would want to go maybe even earlier to the beach or something like that, or even just go take a walk around or something like that. I feel like we could have split up too if we wanted to, but I feel like there was also some positives in us all sticking together. I feel like it actually really worked out.
Yeah. All right. What else would you have done better? Open to the both of you.
Honestly,
know.
I have to say like it went better than I thought it was going to.
I just kind of wing things.
That's what I liked about Billy, especially in our group in general.
True.
We just kind of the night before, like, you want to go to the beach? You want to go to Myrtle Beach to go on the boardwalk? You guys want to
And
go
we kind of
mini
figured out,
golfing?
we
Whatever.
felt it out the next day. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, you guys still want to do that? Awesome. Okay, we're going to leave in like an hour. And like that
The only
was,
thing we really planned was the zip lining.
well, we kind of
would
had
agree,
to.
yeah.
And that was the
Yeah,
only thing we
exactly.
had to. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to
Everything
move
else.
with the Go Ape zipline. You got to sign a waiver before, and then you got to send the money. I think it was a day before because typically you sign earlier.
I don't know. We did it the night before though, and
I gotta
it
say,
just
it
made
worked
it
fine.
easy.
It worked
Yeah,
out.
It made it
I'm
easy.
not mad about it. It worked out. So
So you're glad that we kind of just wing things.
Yeah.
I feel like on
just-
vacation, I'm definitely the person who just wants to hang out. You
Yeah.
know, I like that, especially with a busy school year coming up. And I felt that there wasn't any pressure to do anything, which I thought was awesome, because I don't like when you're on vacation and then you feel like you have to do stuff all the time and you have to stick to a schedule, because that's
Yeah.
not you're
We were
too
there for a
uptight,
week.
you know.
Which, did you guys think that was a good amount of
I thought it
time
was
to do what we
perfect.
wanted and hang out?
Longer.
Longer?
I thought it was
This
about
guy, I like
perfect.
it.
I know. There's a couple of people that have been saying that they wish we were staying a little bit longer. And personally, I thought it's good. I'm sad to be leaving. I truly am. But I feel like too much of a good thing can sometimes be a bad thing, especially with such a big group. And I just don't want us to all get too irritated with one another, I guess.
Oh,
So I would
it was the
rather
group
leave on a
to get
good
irritated,
note.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of my take.
Well, I like that we didn't have too many negatives. That's good.
True.
But I also like that we were in a house. Felt like we were actually just staying there.
Yes.
So let's move on then. Group vacation stereotypes. Did you guys notice any stereotypes? Now, just up front, there was 2 couples there. There was me and Maddie,
Mm-hmm.
and Max and Alexis. So that left a bunch of other people. 7, if I can do my math right. 7 single people.
Quick maths.
That was good.
1 was in a relationship, a new relationship.
Yes,
so
new.
you have the group idea right now. Let's hear about the stereotypes. Or even just on a group vacation. Is there those stereotypes?
I mean, all I'm thinking, like, with our notes, we have a couple of things about just, like, couples and single people, and, like, you know, how sometimes things differ, especially on how you treat vacation. But I mean, I remember before we went on this trip, you were talking about Phil was like, I'm gonna find a girl, I'm gonna hook up with this girl, and I was like, oh man. And it's kind of that way. It's like, well, it's like a one-time thing, and we're down there, and it's like, I'm gonna do it, and we stuck to ourselves.
Yeah, we can't say where he found a girl, but it didn't end up happening technically.
No.
We'll leave that
Nah,
one alone.
really,
'Cause
stop.
Oh, yeah.
That's not meant for this.
definitely not meant for this. Okay. So, group stereotypes. I wrote down Billy because Billy's my favorite person to just go anywhere with or hang out with.
True.
Because he just has that vibe.
Yeah, man.
He's good at vacationing.
Let's go.
Hang out. Let's do whatever you want to do. I'm just here to chill. And normally with some people, you feel like, oh, you have to entertain them or you got
Yes.
to talk to them or just whatever. You don't have to do that, Billy. Just do whatever. So before we went on vacation, Billy said he was looking forward to one thing every morning. What was that?
Wake up, crack a cold one, enjoy the weather.
And what were you wearing when you cracked that cold one, Bill?
What wasn't I wearing?
There we go. A lot of things. So straight up just boxers and some days boxers and a shirt. One highlight of mine was that he went outside at like 10 a.m., Bud Light in hand, and he looked into our neighbor's eyes and just sipped it. So,
my
is there
God.
anything else that went along with that? Like, what were they doing?
Staring at me, and I felt uncomfortable, and I just went
Okay,
back inside.
well, let me just paint this picture, because I'm just imagining you. I didn't see it. I just know that you told us about it after, and I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you were wearing shorts. And
I was, yeah.
Okay, we're wearing shorts, but I'm just imagining, because you went shirtless for quite a while, and maybe a
hot
shirt
there.
on that's like unbuttoned, but I mean, if you don't know Bill, he has long, luscious hair. He's always wearing a
Ooh.
baseball cap. You're welcome. He has wearing a hat and all this sort of stuff. So I'm
Tattoos.
just, he has tattoos. He looks bad and rough on the outside, but I promise you, he's.
He's a sweet.
I'll take
Yeah,
that.
he
I'll
is.
take that, I guess.
But anyway, so painting this picture for you, and so I mean, I probably would do the same thing with the neighbor. Is like, who is that guy staring
what
at me?
the
Because it's like
hell
when
is-
you know when it's
Airbnb.
like you find somebody else is staring at you, even if it's like on the street, somebody stares at you, you look away, but you keep looking back at them, like, why are you staring at me? And you keep making eye contact. It's what I just imagined.
You
that
know, I
happening.
locked eyes with him.
Bill had no fear.
Was it just him?
Yeah, it was the neighbor, and that guy didn't like come around all the time.
No.
It's like
He was out a
It's
lot
like it's like he
overnight.
kind of came
Yeah, but
over
then-
for a couple hours at his house, and then he like did a little bit of work, and then he left. I was like,
Yeah, and
"Wait,
then
aren't
of
you
course
staying?"
it was the time when he's there like doing some work on the house. This is when I just woke up
Yeah.
at like noon.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's put the time in there though.
I go outside, beer in hand, no shirt, and I just kind of like turn over to my right, and I wasn't expecting to see a dude just like staring at me.
Oh, he was already staring.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you initiated this
Yeah.
low key.
No,
Okay,
no.
that changes things.
And I kind of stood there for a good 10 seconds.
Looking?
Well, kind of making eye contact. I'm not staring at him in the eyes for 10 seconds like, hey, you want to
Trying
come
to
over
like
here?
Little wink.
read his soul.
Yeah.
No, and then I just kind of back up, go inside, and like, what just happened?
Jeez.
I
Well,
don't
from
like
his
awkward
perspective,
things.
it seemed like he actually lived there. So to have new
I feel like
people
that,
in that
yeah.
house next door to you every single week, and they're there for vacation.
Yeah,
there
it's
to
just a
party,
rental
have fun.
house.
So,
I mean,
He probably sees some weird stuff.
I'm trying to think about all the people that would rent besides us. And I mean, I'm not saying that we're
No,
the
there's more
normal
adults
bunch.
too, yeah.
And we're also not the weirdest people out there.
No.
So yeah, I could only imagine what he sees. So to see Billy, he was just probably trying to gauge what was going on.
That's just another normal day.
All right. Any other stereotypes? Was it weird having couples there, Bill? Did you mind at all, or was there enough people you didn't feel like
You
the
won't
third
hurt our
wheel
feelings.
did?
I don't care. I literally do not care.
Regardless, any more stereotypes you want to mention? All good?
I got nothing, man.
Yeah, I don't
Alright.
think I'm good.
I'm not calling people out.
Yeah.
That's probably a good thing. So, this last thing before we take a break is the do's and don'ts while on vacation. This can be very general. I think Billy's been on the most vacations here, 2 or 3 this summer alone. So
3 this year.
Yeah, you did. You were at St. Croix before this trip, right?
Yeah, and then in March I was on a cruise.
that was in March.
Caribbean. Yeah.
Oh,
Spring
wow.
break.
Billy's been places.
Where was it
I
based
get
out
around.
of? Where'd you guys
We
leave
started
from?
in Miami,
Okay.
and then we went to 3 places, or was it 4? I think it was 4 actually. There were 2 different stops in Mexico: Cozumel and Costa Maya. Costa Maya was awesome. Cozumel's just kind of like your typical tourist island type of thing. Belize was cool. I've been to actual Belize before, but this time it was like a little private island that the cruise ship owned.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So everything was completely overpriced there.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
probably.
they're like, we're making some profit today.
But I think my favorite was probably Honduras. That was really cool.
Really?
Yeah. Saw some monkeys. Went
That
to
has
some
to be the
Wow.
coolest
beaches.
thing.
It was cool there because we literally just got off the ship.
And they're probably
And
just like bouncing around.
We were looking for what to do, and then this local guy comes up to us, and he's basically offering his service of
Uh-oh.
taking us to places,
Oh, okay.
and showing us around the island. It was weird at first.
I was gonna say, I don't know, red flag just came
No,
up in my
it-
head. It's just like this stranger being like, "Let me take you places."
You wanna
Well,
see my
it was
monkey?
weird.
Exactly.
He worked for some type of company, I think. And the weirdest part about it was when we were going to get into the car, he's like, "Hey, bud, can you drive? I don't have a license."
He seriously said that?
Yeah.
So you drove? Or
Not
did
me.
somebody-
Well,
no, it
he
was
in
somebody
our
else in the
group,
group.
yeah.
Oh my god,
My uncle drove.
That's funny. Wow.
Yeah. And
You're
then
like, maybe
That
we
doesn't happen in the
shouldn't.
States.
we drive out of the busy part and we stop at a gas station, pick up a 6-pack of Coronas for the car because that's normal.
Oh, good. Did he have some?
Obviously.
Or just you guys?
Yeah, he had some.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the guy was really cool. He's just like a local Honduras guy.
Let's just say, I mean, it's a different country, so it probably has some different rules regarding.
Probably.
Oh, even
But-
St. Croix.
Oh, yeah.
You can take your drinks to go.
Even though it's the U.S., it's
Yeah.
U.S. territories, I'm sure
It's
it's
so
different. I
weird.
mean, it's just a different lifestyle.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
saw that differently at Myrtle Beach Boardwalk. Sorry about that, but Myrtle Beach Boardwalk, there was $1.50 beers, and you could only go right up to the gate before you.
It was just basically where the
Yeah.
restaurant was, is what it was.
Yeah, you cannot walk around with drinks, which
I mean, you can't
I'm-
really do that a lot of places.
well, I know, but I'm
feel
used
it's
to
different at a beach.
vacationing in like tropical places where
Bill's
nobody
used
cares.
to the exotic life, let's just say.
Well, that's where I've been the most.
Just joking.
And it's just, I don't know, because I don't vacation in the States
True.
ever.
And it makes a difference, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so do you have do's and don'ts, or just one of each in general?
Do bring sunscreen.
Ooh, okay.
That is
Did
a
you
good
get burned, Vince?
I burned every part of my body.
Ah, man.
Showers were so fun after that.
Did you use the outdoor shower at all?
I did a little bit. It was pretty nice. I want one at home, though.
It's good for
That would
getting
be cool.
sand off.
Exactly. And grouping 5 guys in there. Never mind. Go ahead.
I can't believe
The
you just
neighbor
said
saw that one, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So,
It's not what you think.
Or is it?
yeah. He did come out and see us, though, right?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
he's probably judging us hardcore.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't overpack though. That's a thing. I've
Yes.
seen people do that.
So, what do you pack? Like, are you just one bag, or what is it?
I just brought a suitcase and a backpack for when we go to the beach.
Oh, just
And my
little-
suitcase had clothes, and I brought speakers for around the house, phone chargers. Like I just brought the essentials, sunscreen.
Gotcha. I feel like it's different for a guy, too. Not like, I don't know. You guys just don't have as much stuff as we do as girls. I don't know.
Vince, did you pack your makeup?
Well, that's what exactly like what I'm saying. Like even like toiletries and all that sort of stuff. It
You had
just
a bunch
it's so
of bags
much more.
worth,
I
yeah.
I mean, I have my face wash. I have like all of this certain stuff that I just have, and you guys are like, I have a 3-in-1 body
Yeah.
soap, conditioner, and shampoo.
Those are the
So
best.
one bottle, and it's like just totally different.
Well, I thought it was great because Maddie and I's room was joined with Billy's that had a bunk and a bed. So the bathroom in there, you can definitely see, just looking at the shower and the sink, that there was like a bar of soap per guy, and then like a toothbrush,
Yeah, right.
and then Maddie filled up the sink with bags worth of stuff.
I
so.
didn't have bags.
Bags.
Give me a break.
Bags.
It was just, I did just take up a
I
side.
did give you a break. I
of-
didn't say many bags. I said bags.
Uh-huh.
All right.
You already said plural, so no. Okay, I did take up one side of the sink, but the sink was small. It's not like it was a full countertop or anything. But it is a little different. It is a little different for girls. But that's all I got to say about that.
Real quick, I've heard one way to not overpack is to pack regularly and then go back and cut it in half. Did you do that at all, or you just know what to do now?
Dude, literally, I'll pack like an article of clothing for every day, and sometimes I don't even use all of that.
That's how I felt, yeah. And plus, you buy stuff there.
Yeah.
Like, I enlisted all tanks all day.
You did.
So I bought 4 tanks, and I just wore them every single day.
Hey, we bought a
You
button
just
shirt.
rotated through it.
What'd you think about those matching shirts?
The matching shirts from Old Navy, right in Myrtle Beach at the Perfect Outlet Mall. Old Navy there. We found nice white matching shirts for 5 of us.
Yeah.
Total bros.
Phil, you, me, Max.
Did we get looks at Myrtle Beach
Declan.
Boardwalk?
Oh, yeah.
I felt like we did.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what the hell are these
But
guys
I feel like
doing?
of all places, Myrtle Beach is so touristy anyway
Yeah.
that like I feel like people would look, but you don't think twice about it.
They weren't the loudest shirts, I would say.
No, they're not like you're wearing like giant lobsters on them or
No.
anything.
What was on there? It was like a little beach.
like little islands or something. It was black and white.
I would do it again.
Yeah.
See, but we can't do that in our hometown is a problem. Like,
No.
you learn to live
I
during
mean, you
vacation.
can.
All right. Well, that was the do's and don'ts. We're going to take a quick music break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about stuff that's basically wrapping up vacation.
Yeehaw. You guys ever been to Ranjan?
Unfortunately, no, I
Sadly
couldn't.
not.
Why is that?
Well, the one time we were able to go, Maddie.
This is the surf shop, by the way.
Yeah.
In case you don't
it's
know
that
what Ranjan
famous,
is.
yeah, famous surf shop. Excuse me.
Yes,
that-
we were in North Myrtle Beach, right?
We were. Well, okay.
Driving back.
So
Where were we coming back
we were
from?
okay. So we were at the Old Fashioned Ice Cream Parlor, and we saw this billboard, or so we thought was just a sign. We saw this sign, and it
No,
said,
somebody said it to me. I was,
That was Declan.
talking to Declan, and he's like, "Oh, look, Ranjan," and I just like casually turned and looked. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool."
There's the
Yeah,
Like
lights.
I didn't
there it
think
is.
much of it.
Yeah, because we were at the. Wasn't it when we were at ice cream? Because it was only like a couple.
Yeah, it was like
What buildings down from
Yeah.
it? We saw the sign. So we had that thought, and this was like the second night that we were here. So we said, "Oh man, there's a surf shop down here. Like we'll have to go because it's just that famous name that everybody gets T-shirts and hats for and everything." And so we made the journey a couple days ago.
Well, we were having trouble putting in an address.
Okay, yeah, that was the first.
We were like,
that
hey,
was
it's
the
close
first
to the house,
red
Billy
flag.
said, so let's go there.
Yeah, that was the first red flag. And so
Oh.
you're driving, I'm passenger seat, and I'm Googling this, and I'm like doing the whole Google Maps, and I'm like, okay, Ron John surf shop. And it kept bringing me to one towards North Myrtle Beach. And that was the one that was closest to where we apparently were. But we were driving, and we're
Outlet
driving.
Mall. We must have been there. No,
was that the day we got the shirts?
maybe.
We're telling a
Yeah,
terrible
'cause
story
there was
right
Max
now.
was there as well. So yeah, we're on the back from.
Yeah, we were on the way.
Old Navy.
On the
Go
way
ahead.
back, and it was weird because I thought we were supposed to be going back south because that was back towards our house because that's where we thought it was. And so I plugged it in, and then it was taking us north. And I think we were like 5-10 minutes into our drive, and I was seeing where it was taking us, and I was like, "Why is it taking us north? This
We were
doesn't
so
make
close,
sense.
too.
It doesn't make sense as to why it's taking us north." So I checked the location, and I was like, okay, I don't know why it's not coming up. Like, apparently I just typed in the one that was in North Myrtle Beach. So I said, okay, well, I can't find the one that's by us. So let's just head back towards home. Let's just put in the home address, or home meaning our rental. And we went that way.
And what did we stumble upon, Billy?
Well, it turns out the one that I thought we saw by that ice cream shop, well, it was a billboard.
Literally just a
It
billboard.
was a sign.
And was it for the one in Myrtle Beach?
It was for the one that I technically
God.
plugged into. I would just felt so disappointed.
What
We
a
were driving
waste
and,
of time.
and I just felt my heart sink too because we were driving closer, and we're like, "There's the sign. Is that just a billboard?" And we're like,
I think Phil said it like, is that a billboard?
yeah, and we're like, "No, it's not. It can't be." And we drove right by a billboard, and we're like, "Well, that's it."
That's it.
Not our finest moment of our vacation.
See, I would not drink to that.
I would not drink to that.
Yeah, the quote of the trip.
Quote of the trip.
That has been.
Cheers, I'll drink to that.
Billy started it too, so he gets the
Billy
rights
finished
to
many
that.
drinks because of that.
He did.
I got Max in on it too.
It was kind
He
of
kept
fun.
going.
Honestly, it's such a.
That's what happens on
good slogan.
vacation.
Celebration thing.
I'll drink to that, and like somebody just like tripped over a log or something.
Yeah.
Like, any excuse, man. Any excuse.
Well, if you had drinks for when people were falling or getting stuck in the water at Go Ape, I would do that
yeah,
too.
That's true.
You guys, you remember when Phil chucked my shoe into the flood?
Okay,
What
so
game was that? Please tell me.
So there's this game. It's like a card game.
Cool Cats and Ass Hats?
Yeah.
it's kind of it's like one of those fun card games. It's not like those typical like random card. It's like a Cards Against Humanity sort of fun type of game where it comes in the
Amped
small
up
box.
to 11.
But it is. That's exactly what it was. We all weren't expecting it either.
Yeah. Don't play this game with your parents or anything like
Oh,
that.
definitely.
There's a
not.
reason why it
Oh,
says
my God.
ages 21 to 74.
Well, we were playing at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and it seemed like a very dull game because you lay out the 10 cards.
10 cards,
Yeah.
yeah. And they're just like subject cards. They're
Yeah.
random subjects. You could do like
You decide
some
if
of them are like apricots, sidewalk chalk,
Yeah.
like
That just started
granny
getting
panties.
darker.
Like they
Then it
literally have
turned
and
it up.
whatever.
So yeah, you got your main guy that lays out the cards, and then everybody guesses whether they like that subject, and whoever gets the highest or lowest score for guessing correctly has to choose a certain card, either a cool cat or an ass hat card.
and those are action cards.
And you can
So
kinda
then you
figure
have
out.
to do whatever the card says, and this is when we learned that the game is not for the faint of heart.
No.
And we also found out that you don't have to read the card out loud for everybody.
Well, apparently, so this was literally the first round, and I see Phil, he had one of the action cards. He reads it. He just casually gets up, picks up my shoe, opens the door, and yeets it into
Literally,
the flood.
I don't know how else to describe it, but
It was
it
flooded
out.
that night, too.
It was. It was still I think it was during the King's Tide or whatever, and it was.
Yeah,
that takes a
and
while.
It couldn't find it until the next
No.
morning, and it was
was-
stuck in a bush.
A thorny
R.I.P..
bush.
Yeah.
But it was hilarious, too, because everyone was kind of like done with that night. Everyone
Well, it was
just
like,
this is boring.
2:00 in the morning. We were all
Yeah.
hitting that low. Everybody was just wanting to finish the game to go to bed.
And this was round 1 of 10. And right after Phil threw that shoe,
Everyone was ready to
I
go.
loved
10,
our
here we
reaction
come.
because everybody just all at once we were like, "What just happened?" Like we all freaked out. It's like immediately we all woke up, and it was so cool.
All right, so I think Billy had one of the funniest one next to Devin.
Which one was that?
You had to put a towel down.
A towel.
Do you remember?
Huh?
You
In
had a
light
thing of
Oh,
water.
yeah. So it was so weird. The card literally just told me
Cards
to
were weird.
wet my pants.
Oh my gosh, yes, I totally forgot about this one.
So I just had to dump a thing of water down my pants.
Well, then Devin had to suck on Billy's ear as well. Or he had to kiss it gently.
No,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
That's on video. We have that.
We have that as actual footage. Maybe we'll feature it. Just kidding, we're not going
Let's
to do
not.
that. Yeah,
Billy's like, I have a reputation.
Yes.
I don't want him next
I
to
have
it.
to uphold it.
What other games did we play?
See, I feel like we didn't play much.
Because
Except,
we played like Cards Against Humanity, like those typical ones that everybody knows, everybody does.
Oh.
We had the Switch.
Let me
Max
tell
brought
you,
the Switch.
yeah.
And we all had fun with that. I thought that was actually really awesome.
I'll beat
Lot-
y'all ass in Smash Bros.
Exactly, I know.
Was that your strong suit? I know Maddie was Mario Kart.
Oh, I love Smash.
Smash is good.
Yeah.
Big group thing. We did tournaments. You won a few of them.
Yeah, that's good
You and
stuff.
Max were really
Yeah.
you were at the top.
Pissing
of
me
your-
off.
That
Yeah.
was only like the second or third time I've ever even played that game.
And who'd you keep being? Did you have a favorite?
Link. Link's pretty good.
Link's a
I like him.
badass.
Truly.
All right, Donkey Kong.
I just like because I could spam him hitting the ground and you guys couldn't come near me.
Yeah.
So that was my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we had no Wi-Fi for the entire week basically, so we had to stick to the Switch and talking to each other. So
Oh,
Oh,
man,
darn.
exactly. I thought it was awesome. Actually, it helped us out. I think.
yeah, less focusing on Xbox and watching movies and
See,
stuff.
I don't even know why they brought that. Like Devin brought
I
his
think it
Xbox.
was the idea to-
why? I don't know.
I think it was the idea to do video games,
But, like-
But I feel
Yeah,
like
but
the
we're on
Compared to the
vacation.
Switch
You-
and vacation, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if you guys would have done Xbox or PlayStation or whatever you guys would have brought those consoles are more specific to the games that you already have downloaded and that you guys play together already. So the people who don't normally play video games, like myself or Alexis, or we probably would have been a little bit more left out of it. But when you have the Switch and you have all the Mario Bros games, and like those are just classics that everybody knows, and you can usually catch on pretty quick. So I thought that was cool because everybody could get involved.
Wasn't bad. But what else did we do? We're in the house. It's been a while. You just can't think of this stuff.
You know what?
What?
I didn't like going shopping. We had to shop
What
like
shop?
every day.
Oh,
like
okay.
grocery shopping.
Oh, Walmart.
God, how much money did we spend?
I think Walmart saw
11
our faces
people?
every day.
Jeez.
Yeah, we did a big group shop the very first,
The
very
first
first full
official
day,
day,
yeah.
yeah.
But every day after we went to Walmart, so, and it was a 2-minute drive, not bad, but a lot of money
Well,
right
because
there.
I feel like we had a lot of impulses too. You guys got on your
Pot
pot
pies.
pies,
Hey.
and you're like, I gotta go get more pot pies.
Devin had pot pies, and he got everyone into it.
You know what was weird? The liquor laws there.
The
Oh yeah.
No, because
Yeah.
it was the first full day we were there.
And we were all there together.
Yeah, and I was driving. Who was I with? I don't know. I'm going, and they drop me off. I'm gonna go pick up some bottles of some stuff. I go in there. Closed on Sundays. You could buy beer and wine. That's fine, but no liquor. It's
No
weird.
liquor.
The shop is like split in half. Walmart,
That's
Kroger, none of those stores sell liquor. You have to be like a specifically licensed store, I guess. I don't know. I'm not used to these South Carolina laws.
But it was the store
Weird.
that we kept going to for Cruzan, right?
Oh yeah.
And it was split in half. That's
Yeah.
funny. Okay.
And
I-
then you can only buy it up until 7 o'clock, and then it's closed.
And I never really even thought about it because I went in there after that day with you guys, and I kind of thought it was weird that was split in half. But I guess now it makes sense because if you were to go in at a certain day or a certain time, you can only access one side.
All right.
It's weird.
What did you guys think though? Because we did group stuff, purchase of alcohol. So we've done that in Illinois before, and everyone has to get ID'd. But in South Carolina, just the person buying it.
No, they
Or was
switched
it?
it because when I was with Max, the lady at Walmart ID'd everybody.
Oh.
So I guess it just
Just depends.
depends how they
See,
feel.
and then there was one other
'Cause
time
at the
that
liquor store we didn't.
and there was one other time that Vince and I were going through a line, but we just had like those freezer
Yeah, they're like, you're lame. All right.
they're like the freezer
The old
like
daiquiri thing.
yeah, like the strawberry daiquiris that are in like those little pouches that have like 4% alcohol in those. But
Yeah.
I mean, you're still purchasing alcohol. Well, they had those at Walmart. We went through and I bought, but you had asked the lady, you had said, "Well, do you need to ID all of us?" And she said no. So I'm wondering if it's just like
Or, like, it's
a
just how they're
picky
feeling.
thing, or right? Be like, I'm gonna just ruin this people's day today. I don't know. Maybe it's just a picky thing. Maybe they're trying to figure it out. But I found it weird too.
Yeah. Did you guys notice, like people being on their phones too much? Do you think we had too much technology on vacation?
I'm a fan of being in groups and not having the phone out at all.
I agree.
Now, we were in a house all day, for the most part. I think a little bit too much on the phones, just sitting around, like less talking.
Because we're on vacation, we should just be out doing stuff or enjoying the weather
Yeah.
that we don't get at home.
Exactly.
So
and me and Billy
why-
spent a lot of
yeah.
time on the deck. I don't know if you noticed that people on the deck
Yeah.
on their phones a lot.
Yeah. There.
And how's that changed that for you?
See, I'm more of the type of guy to just leave my phone in my room and then just do whatever I feel like doing, whether it's finding some snacks while we're not making lunch so I
Yeah,
can
right.
make it to dinner time, or
Do you leave
yeah.
your when you're home? Do you do the same thing, or do you have it on you a little bit more?
I have it on me right now.
Oh, wow.
Same.
Yeah. See,
I
that's
would
the
say the
problem.
same too because like I did the same thing on vacation where I would try to leave my phone just in my room or our room because it's just away from you because you're not spending all your time and like just laying in bed on vacation. So if I
No,
just had
no.
it was just on my nightstand, and I felt that it kind of helped because it not being it on me, I wasn't tempted to do it. There was still some times that it would just be like a lull during the mid afternoon, and
Yeah,
you
that's
check because
fine.
it's just you're
It's-
there.
You're just
It's
there.
what we do. But yeah, I found that if I put it away like that, it really helped. But I also, since now that we're just hanging out and everything, I have it on me too.
Did you say anything to anybody to like put it away or whatever?
I don't think I did. Usually I will, but
You do?
I didn't want to be that guy.
Because sometimes when you do that, then that person
They
they
get all
don't talk
mad.
and they don't do anything.
get mad.
And that defeats the purpose. I
Yeah,
feel like
I would
That's-
agree.
It's happened before.
It has for sure. And there's always the people. I feel like it's the same offenders too.
Oh, definitely
It's
the
the
same
people.
people.
It's
Yeah.
the same people who are doing it over. So it's hard because you don't want to force them into doing anything social, but yet you're just trying to be like, hey, come join or something like that. And even if you do tell them to, hey, we're all off our phones, like, you want to join the conversation, sometimes people just take it the wrong way, even though you just want their company.
Because even when me and Billy weren't even talking, we were just relaxing on the deck, I didn't mind at all.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
Just chill there.
Yeah.
Don't do anything.
And we
I don't know. That, to me, that's vacation. That's relaxing.
True.
I don't know.
Because you forget about all your troubles, the work week coming up, stuff like that, leaving.
I got an idea.
Huh.
Next trip, go somewhere, no service. See what happens to everybody.
You know, that's a thing now where it's actually a highly sought after vacation sort of thing is places with no service. And it's weird because I saw this on it was like a news article or like on the news before vacation, and they were saying that these places that have no cell service, and they literally on their description they say they offer no Wi-Fi. Like, it's a hot commodity at that point. It's so weird to think about it. It's like, well, you want Wi-Fi, you know, but they don't offer any of it, and it's in a place where you have like none to barely any cell service, and people actually like pay good money to be in those spots because it's like a screen detox in a way. You know, you just get away from all of that. It forces you to.
I think that's what we got to do next. Now, on this vacation, I've tried to make it so, because there's 10 other people here. Who else do I text besides you guys?
That's how I felt
besides
too.
My mom?
It was my mom. That was literally the only other person. And then I had to send a couple emails, even though I hated to think about that, but I had to, just to keep up with it.
So you just need your phone for pictures.
Pretty much.
Kinda.
So that kind of leads into, you were just talking about places. We're talking about where to go next. So have you ever like planned a vacation while you're on vacation? Because that's kind of what we're doing.
We have started that. And personally, I've never done that. But I can tell that everybody kind of has that sort of empty feeling coming on the fact that we've been planning this for a while. So it's like all of a sudden it's gone. You know, all of this happiness is now ending.
Now, Billy wants no service. I came up with Colorado, and he seems like he's really tested
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And that's
I
what
want to
I
go
like.
there. The mountains. I feel like we could get like a cool cabin for all of us to stay in.
I think it'd
that
be
would
so
be
cool.
so cool.
And regardless of time of year, we'll go in the summer. But
Because that's
anytime
when
you're in
everybody's
Colorado,
off,
like,
I know Phil wants to go for like snowboarding and stuff.
do you do that stuff?
No, but I want to try.
What? It's snowboarding, and what's the other one? Skiing.
Those are like the main two.
Is one easier than the other to start out at?
They say that skiing
skiing's
is
probably
better
easier.
because you have both of your feet attached.
More
and you're
control.
going straight. Yeah, your feet are separate. They're on two
yeah.
different things, and you're going straight forward. Where snowboarding, you're on your side and you have to balance. I've tried both. I mean, it was a long time ago. It's a lot harder than you think it is because actually the board's slightly curved.
Oh,
It's weird.
okay.
So that way it's kind of like a skateboard in the sense that way you can lean one side or the other so that you can turn. So it's that.
Is it about the length of your feet or the width of your feet, or is it a little bit wider?
Mm. Little wider.
Might be a little bit, like maybe
Okay.
a half inch to an inch on both sides wider, but
Because if we're there, you got to try.
Yeah.
I've tried both. I mean, again, I was younger when I tried them. I haven't been skiing or snowboarding in a while. Skiing was a lot easier for me as a kid. So I'm not going to trust my adult skills right now because I don't have a lot of coordination. So I'm going to guess my childhood coordination is about what it is now. But skiing was easier for me. But snowboarding just looks cool.
It seriously does. And just hiking there, I feel like we spend less money because we just go hiking. That's a thing we left out on this trip.
I really
is the
wanted
hike.
to do some hiking, but I don't think there was any good places.
We're in South Carolina. You're at sea level, basically.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's a good point.
it is hard. So you would just be doing trails and stuff like that, which is still cool. But I just feel like it wouldn't have been the same.
When we were driving through Tennessee, I think it was.
Oh, man.
That's some good hiking.
You can't go
Tennessee,
wrong.
all of during the West Virginia and Virginia area, like it's the Appalachian Mountains and the Smoky Mountains. That's what's cool.
What's the longest you've hiked for?
3 hours.
I was gonna say about 3 hours for me,
There and back?
like total
Yeah.
on like
Total?
one
Yeah.
trip. Yeah, I mean it's 3 hours is a long time. It doesn't kind of seem like it when you're just, like you think of all these people hiking all day. Those are the crazy ones, but
Well, it seemed like you had more paths and Billy had more hike, I feel like.
Mine was through the rainforest.
All right. Never mind. I was
mine
wrong.
was in Tennessee when I was in there. But it wasn't. I mean, we took like babier trail, like smaller trails, so they weren't like intense master climber type of like trails, you know, where you need all of the special gear that you get at all of these like Gander Mountain store, you know what I mean? So it was
Yeah.
definitely like the average type of hiking trail, but it would still work, and it was still cool to see. We saw a couple of like small waterfalls when we were in Tennessee a couple years ago, so that was cool.
Something to do. Well, we're looking at Texas, Colorado, Atlanta, and Devin mentioned Canada. I'm not sold on the other ones.
I was like, it's weird to think that like Canada's a vacation spot, but I know a couple people who have gone to Canada, especially like Toronto area. I mean, that's just more for like city life, and you can go other places for more wilderness, and they love it. You know, I've heard everything positive about Canada, so I would feel like it'd be harder for us to get it organized, but maybe, you know, maybe not. It's a pretty safe area.
I'll pass on the Texas.
No Texas? How
No.
come?
Doesn't seem appealing to me. Like,
Texas,
what,
I
am I
would
going to go there and just be hot?
Okay, I feel that too. I feel like if you were to do Texas, you just have to do like the cities, you know. Like
And
you have
I
to-
Major
hate
cities.
cities.
yeah,
Yeah.
major
too,
cities. You have to
so-
do like Austin, or you have to do Dallas, or
No.
like those kind of things. And I mean, Texas is a huge state, so
Well,
you'd have to
The
take a long
Gulf,
time if you want to see
it doesn't sound appealing either.
the Gulf, the ocean,
You
like
want to
the
go golfing?
no, the Gulf of Mexico in itself, the ocean, it's rougher down there. It's weird because like I've heard that like going back to the sharks and jellyfish sort of thing, but it's like a kind of this, it's a gulf, so it's kind of like this cove sort of thing, and so they all hang out there, and there's some pros and cons to it, but it's not like the open Atlantic Ocean like we had, or the open Pacific on the other side. Definitely different. Gotta get used to it.
I got you. Well, I got a few more points I want to ask the two of you, and then we can finish up with favorite memories a couple more times. If you got any, I'll give you time to think. But a couple of things is back to work blues. The both of you are working Monday, I believe.
Yeah. I'm just thankful I don't work early. I work at noon, so I can kind of ease back into it.
So how do you feel? How does the end of vacation feel? Do you try and force that out of your mind, or how do you go about it, the both of you?
Well, I mean, it sucks, but at some point you're just ready to go back. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's a mix of, can I stay longer, and I want my bed back.
You want your comfort, yeah.
It's the comfort of knowing where you are all the time and knowing what you can do where you normally are.
All right, so last thing, social media posting. So when people go on vacations, go to concerts, sometimes they tend to overshare.
Oh, the
Or share
concerts
lots.
and the oversharing, that I can't handle. When
So-
people do like
A
3-4
full
minutes
video
of
or
like
something.
just
Here's the full song.
yeah, exactly. Here's half the concert. I like Snapchat. I can't handle that. I understand if you want to like
There's highlights,
post a,
pictures.
there's highlights,
yeah.
there's highlight songs. You know, there's well-known ones. So I get it if you want to share it, but I can't stand the people who hold the phone up the whole time during the concerts. Wise, you know, that's just my take on that.
Now I've posted twice so far, a bunch of pictures in each. Is that too much, too little, Bill?
I think I posted the same. I don't even know why I post. Like, what's the point?
Sometimes
That's a whole other
sometimes you go
conversation.
through that existential crisis. It's like, who is this really for?
Yeah, you just guys want to show what you're
True.
doing.
It's true. But you
attention.
said you did twice.
Twice. Instagram just is appealing to post on, I feel like.
Instagram is all about
I've
the
never used Instagram.
Instagram's all about the Instagram moments.
Are you just Facebook?
Pretty much. Facebook, Snapchat.
Okay.
That's it.
See, I'm putting the X on Snapchat for myself. I'm finding it just less and less appealing. But that's my own personal thing.
I just like sending
But-
stupid shit.
I understand. Hey, everybody's got their reasons. I'm not dissing it at all. But yeah, I haven't done anything. Honestly. I feel like it's just I've been waiting just for it all to end so I can just put it in one, collaboration.
One good post.
Exactly. I don't think 2's bad at all. I think once you hit 3 or more.
Well, how long do you get after vacation ends to keep posting? Because you
Couple
go
days.
through it, you organize pictures, you got a couple days.
Couple days.
Billy?
Because I get if you get home, it's not going to be the first thing you're going to want to do.
No.
You have to figure out other stuff. So I'd say a couple days.
If I'm back, I've already forgot about everything.
Oh, wow.
So-
Dang.
Not memorable for Bill.
Cut it off.
All right, so that's social media. One last thing, one little memory moment from each of us. Who wants to take it first? I have one because Devin slept on the couch in the living room. Everyone stares at Devin because Devin sleeping is a very long process. He moans constantly. It's like a constant
He's like
wet
a
dream.
hibernating bear.
And then he scratches himself very oddly. So it's just weird, and you feel dirty watching Devin sleep.
Ew.
So
I'm trying to figure out which way you meant dirty, but I'm just
Dirty.
gonna let that go.
well, Maddie was staring at him one morning, and she was like, "He looks super weird," or whatever you said. And
Yeah.
the second you said it, he opened his eyes, and he was like, already.
He's like, "You're being a big fat meanie," and like which is very interesting for him to say because he usually has to drop a swear in there at any point.
Word.
Yeah, word. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but it surprised me because I totally thought he was asleep. I thought he was just dead asleep, sleeping like a rock, bear, whatever. It's kind of the same. And when I made that comment, seriously, exactly how you described it. His eyes like flashed open, and he was like, "I can hear you in there," and I was like, "Oh!" It like totally caught me off guard. So I don't know. Maybe he's never actually sleeping.
Favorite moment, Billy? Another moment at all?
I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to that.
That's fair.
Maddie?
I just keep thinking of seeing everybody conquer their fears.
That was awesome.
Go Ape. I just thought that was cool. Everybody got through it.
And I thought it's hilarious because they have the instructor on the ground watching, looking to help.
Oh my gosh, they must be so over everybody.
The things they hear from people.
Right? And I'm sure they hear the same stuff. It's like, I feel like I'm gonna fall, or
You're
I feel like
fine.
it's not gonna catch me, or I'm scared. And they're probably like, just get down, like just go, you're fine. And they have to put on a brave face, and they smile at you, and you say you can do it. But I feel like to do that every day, and they must be like, come on, man, it's fine. I can do it in my sleep.
Well, that's South Carolina for us. I look forward to doing another episode next year with you guys. We're
Yes.
definitely going. I'm thinking Colorado's the winner.
I'll take that.
It would be cool if we called it right now and we said, hey, we'll see you in Colorado in a year.
I'll drink to that.
I will drink to that.
Billy, one last note. We have something new we've been working on, and we're going to be adding a bunch of stuff to it. What is that?
Oh yeah, well that's gonna be our YouTube channel.
And what stuff we're going to be putting on our YouTube channel?
Well, we got our podcast, of course, and I don't know, we might do some video type of stuff.
I'm still trying to decide what's appropriate for what should go on there,
Yeah.
How do you feel about filming these?
Do you have a camera?
I got a few.
All right. I got one too. We'll
He's
just have to
game.
figure out like the angles and stuff. That's always weird.
How about the angles?
Like, I don't know if people want to stare at my face for like an hour.
Right.
Well, that's before and after talks. Kind of rebranding a little bit-ish here, trying to separate ourselves. Easier to find us before and after talks. That's going to do it for episode 10. Stay tuned for plenty more content, and thank you for listening to 10 episodes of Before and After so far. I'm Vince. We got Maddie.
Senior William.
And this is Maddie again because he decided to say
I
my
cut her
name for
off,
me. That's
right?
okay.
Didn't know she was still going to talk. That's it, guys. Thanks for listening.